Hello, everyone. Megan Taslaman in Thyroid Healthy Balance, bringing to you tonight's topic, which is all about detoxification and your thyroid. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about the hidden connections and why it is incredibly important to have a structured detox, even though your organs are naturally detoxing 24/7. I'm also going to be giving you some dietary and lifestyle tips and what else am I going to be talking about? Detox practices as well, just to give you some guidelines. Hello, welcome. Let me know if you're here. Let me know who you are. I can see that somebody's watching. I just don't know who you are. Give me a heart, give me a thumbs up. If you're coming in on the replay, please do a hashtag replay and ask any questions along the way. This is, well, it can be either. I can kind of just talk, or it can be really interactive. Hey, Linda, lovely to see you. Hey, Karen, beautiful to see you. Fantastic, fantastic. So this can be really interactive. So you can ask questions along the way. I'm going to be sharing with you a lot. So I'm going to be sharing what I do, the first step with what I teach my clients. And what I noticed, I was just kind of like looking at everything the other day. And even though I believe that there's no one size fits all, and I also feel that, like we all are in our own lane, working within the parameters of what's going on for our own health, and what we're doing maybe look completely different to what someone else is doing. Even though I can say that, and that is actually very, very true, right? Because your health is bespoke to you. There is also some foundational layers or principles from my naturopathic conscious living framework, which actually apply to everyone. All right. And one of those principles is detoxification. Because even though our organs are naturally detoxing, like our liver, it doesn't stop. It just doesn't, like when we go to sleep at night, it actually revs up, like it's working all the time. So even though, like, hey, Karen, oh, right, yeah, Karen made it. Even though our organs are on autonomic pilot, which is fantastic because otherwise, we'd be in a real mess. There are little things that we can do along the way to really help ourselves with that detoxification process. All right. And there are different levels. So we can just do some very, very simple strategies, which is what I'm going to be talking about tonight, which applies to all of humanity. All right. Now, many of you, and definitely most of my clients, are already doing this. But this is something that if you're not working with us in our world, that's absolutely fine. You can actually pick up quite a lot of tips tonight. And if you feel inspired, of course, we're always open to a chat, because what we specialize in is helping people with thyroid challenges or symptoms of thyroid challenges literally get from A to B, shift through their health challenges to bounce out on the other side feeling absolutely vibrant and healthy and happy. So that's what we specialize in a structured period of time. All right. So let's get into it. So first of all, I'm just going to break it down. The hidden connection. Our thyroid gland, out of all the organs in the body, well, it's actually a gland, but like it's an organ, is very, very sensitive. Clearly it's in this proximity here. It is a very prominent energy center as well. It's our voice of communication. It has a high blood supply, and therefore it has a high level of exposure. All right. So it's no surprise to me then that our thyroid stores 80% of our iodine stores, and actually iodine as a mineral isn't stored in the body. It's kind of really kind of concentrates in the thyroid gland, and it's also in other glands in the body. Iodine is very, very protective, very protective. So it's no surprise that it's concentrated in the thyroid gland to protect us from cancer and all these other types of things, right? Oxidative stress. Obviously, it also has a very key role to producing our thyroid hormones, but that's a completely different topic. But I find it really interesting how, there's a mineral that the bulk of that mineral is in that space, not just to produce our thyroid hormones, but also to protect the gland, right? This is why having regular iodine is really, really important. So doing a regular detox, as an example, once per quarter, spring is around the corner, perfect time to get your health in order if you haven't already thought about that already. It's absolutely perfect, especially with the sun out nice and bright all week. It's just a little reminder that, some spring and summer is around the corner, where we get more active, where we typically would like to feel more vibrant, and we can get out into nature. And what better way than to start by doing a gentle and structured detox to help our thyroid, to help our endocrine system, to help our liver actually safely remove unwanted metabolites, toxins, like derivatives from all the things that it's trying to remove from our body. Than this time of the year. It is perfect. Why do we call it the spring clean? Like it's just a perfect energetic time of the year to actually embark on a more structured detox. All right, so I'm going to go through the different levels. Okay, so here's the thing. The thyroid gland gets blamed a lot. And to be fair, like 50% of my clients that I work with, like sometimes it's 60, 70, sometimes it's like 30, 40, but a chunk of people that I work with, they actually come into my world with symptoms of thyroid issue. And when we actually go through all the functional testing, their thyroid is absolutely fine. However, sometimes we see a little red flag, like it's fine, it's working well, but there's some sneaky things going on which tell me that potentially down the track there could be a problem, so let's actually act now. That's what I call the golden opportunity, all right? So what I'm saying is that the symptoms of a thyroid issue also mirror symptoms of toxicity, along with many other things like adrenal fatigue, like blood sugar irregularities. Like there are so many overlapping signs and symptoms. So the way I see it, and this is why this is a prominent first step for pretty much all of our clients, and this was the common denominator that I noticed that, it's very rare that I won't start this with a client, and that is really like shifting through and getting rid of the low-hanging fruit. All right, so getting rid of the things that it doesn't matter. We don't need to do functional testing. I don't need a blood test. We don't need to do anything. Pretty much I know that food or that practice or that whatever you're doing there is actually not doing your body any good. Like it's not actually serving you in any way or form. It may not be negating either, but it's just not lifting. It's not going to be lifting your health to vitality. It's not going to be lifting your health to, health abundance. So, this is where doing a detox is just a great way to just shift out all the mess, shift out all the white noise of our diet and lifestyle. We don't want that white noise. We want, purposeful health. Like health, that doesn't really roll off the tongue. We actually want our food to be our medicine. Yeah, like we want it to taste good. It's got to feel good. It's got to give us vibrancy and energy and clarity. But why can't it also be helping our liver detox by helping our kidneys function well? That's acid-base balance, that is, and having the correct amount of mineral ratio. By helping our lungs, helping our skin, helping our digestive system. Those are the 5 areas that our body naturally detoxifies. Our liver, that is the key one, number 1. Our kidneys, our skin, our digestive system, and our lungs. We're detoxing all the time. So we can upregulate that. And then when we do functional testing, You know, if there are some specific markers, like someone asked a question last week, how do you know if you're deficient in glutathione? Well, you know, you could actually, my response was, well, it shows up in functional testing, you know, like it's very, very clear. You see through organic acids tests, you see through digestive stool analysis tests, etc., etc. However, if you're just feeling like blah, you know, you're not feeling good and you're really struggling, you know, something like that could be a major game changer. But we don't want to just start by having a supplement. We really want to start by clearing out the low-hanging fruit, just getting rid of the rubbish. You know, getting rid of those things that you may have thought is okay. So I'll give you a classic example. You know, you've been purchasing from the health food aisle in the supermarket and thinking that it's healthy because it's got, I don't know, a green label and some sort of health promise on the front. But actually, when you fine tune it, and this is what I teach my clients, you know, to read everything and understand what all of the ingredients means, when you have that knowledge and that wisdom and that power, I'm serious, you never go back. Because when you actually know that potentially those ingredients within that product is going to cause advanced glycation end products, otherwise known as AGEs, you know, age, you know, it's no surprise that that an acronym kind of fits. Advanced glycation end products, age, yeah. It makes our blood sticky. It clogs our system. And these, you know, you'll never see an ingredient called advanced glycation end products. However, a lot of E numbers and a lot of different types of sugars and ingredients and, you know, trans fats, etc. That's what actually they do. They combine with proteins in our blood, making it sticky and clunky. All right? Making our blood sticky. And, you know, pretty much clogging our detox pathways as well. All right? So let's clear all that out. So this is why I really, really believe that doing a detox, you know, even before doing any functional testing or even just upping the ante on your health, you know, like we all know the importance of water. And if anyone has read in the news lately, I mean, look, I don't watch the news. Like, I actually don't watch. Full confession, I don't watch the TV. I don't think I've watched the TV for a very, very long time. Maybe once or twice a year. But you kind of just get this information. I don't know. Comes through the air anyway. Comes over the internet. Like you get it. You're not going to miss out on anything. I promise. Turn off your TV. I promise you're not going to miss out on anything. So in the media is a lot of information about PFAS, PFAs. Me neither. I love it, Karen. Awesome. Yeah, PFAs, which are, you know, plastics in our water supply. They're forever chemicals. They are chemicals that don't break down in our lifetime. And they are currently in the municipal water supply. So it's about having that knowledge and wisdom and then applying that to actually make some fundamental changes to that baseline of health. You know, like water. I'm not going to say for one person to drink more water than another. Well, I might actually mention that. But I'm not going to say to someone, oh yeah, tap water's fine for you. But for you, yeah, definitely we need a filter. You know, whereas there may be a spectrum on that depending on how chronically ill one may be, a person may be. Excuse me, I'm getting a bit tongue-tied today. However, you know, the foundations and the principles of clean, purified water are the same for everyone. You know, I feel like that's something that needs to be across the board. So that's just one thing that you can do. If you want to detoxify, up your water, change your water system, get a purification system. You know, even it doesn't really matter what you get as long as you're getting something that's better than what you're already having. And then you can step up as you learn more. Like I'm at my third water purification system and I'm probably going to stick here. It was very expensive. However, I didn't start there. Like I started, I don't know, with something else. And then I think I've had three. Yeah, I've had three different water purification systems. But I know that I've been purifying my water for the last 10 years. And I'm really glad to be doing that because there's so much rubbish in the water these days. And I'm not talking about bacteria and things like that. That's probably the least of our worry. I'm actually talking about heavy metals, microscopic plastics, and all these other types of forever chemicals, glyphosate runoff, so that's just water. So, ladies and gentlemen, just, here tonight, start there. Look at your water. Water is our number one nutrient. It's our number one nutrient. Often we're looking at, oh, what supplements should I take? Oh, what food, what diet do you think is going to be good for me? Have a look at your water. How much are you drinking? When are you drinking it? How is it hydrating you? Is it pure water? Yeah, if you're having water and you're going to the toilet a lot, like, going to, do a number one, a lot, well, that means you're not absorbing it. That means that there's a mineral imbalance. All right? So there's a lot to be said for just looking there. That's going to help your cells detoxify. We want our cells to be plump like grapes, not squashed and dried up like raisins. If our cells are squashed and dried up by raisins, how on earth can they absorb minerals? How can they absorb vitamins? How can they efflux or detoxify the metabolites of the cell function? Our cells do everything. We have a mitochondria in pretty much every cell in the body, So, our cells produce energy, not just the energy that we're aware of, like get up and go, run, do the things, but cellular energy, the energy required to keep our heart beating, keep our brain functioning. Yeah? To keep our digestive system working. Like our cells pretty much do everything. It's a microscopic world down there. You go on the inside of a cell and there's lots of mechanics going on. It's just like amazing. All right. So water, number one. I promised a short live. I actually said to myself, I'll keep it short. So I'm going to actually move on. Okay. All right. So PFAS. So here are the main toxicants that actually impact our thyroid. The plastic, BPAs, BPSs, right? These are all microscopic. They're in the lining of cans, tin food, lining of cans. That if you have takeaway coffee cup, like if you have a cappuccino and you get a takeaway cup, think, the lining of the paper cup that has BPA, the lid. So, you put the lid on the cup and then the hot coffee, the steam is captured at the top of the lid and evaporates and drips those plastic particles back into the coffee. So, there's a lot to be said for having a glass, having your own glass coffee cup, teacup, whatever. Who has their own glass apparatus to buy a coffee or tea or have something on the go? Who has it? Who has a glass? Now, glass is the best. Glass is the best. And I'm talking about this because it's so important, but this is long term. This is not for the next 3 months. This is not for the next 12 months. You don't think, oh, well, my thyroid's out of whack, so I'm just going to switch here. I mean, of course, there's so many other steps to follow. There are so many other things. We've got to get you feeling better. But I'm just talking longevity right now, So change these little habits. And then, when you get from A to B and you're feeling better, you've got all of these well-established habits. And there's actually a lot in doing that because this is a forever thing. We all want the longevity, but we don't want to just live long. We want to live long with vitality, with brilliant health, with get up and go, with energy. Yeah? Who doesn't want energy, vitality, and longevity? Energy, vitality, and longevity. Who doesn't want that? It's amazing, right? And it's available to each and every one of us if we get out of our own way. And we start by getting rid of the low-hanging fruit, all right? And up-regulating our detoxification system, all right? So just switching up the ratios. What does your plate look like? Yeah? How much green is on there? How much vibrancy is on there? How much has come from a plastic packet compared to the organic grower around the corner? How much has come, it's actually fresh as opposed to cold storage forever and a day? Is it a ready-made meal that's been frozen for goodness knows how long and reheated? Or is it cooked from scratch? Is it grown in your garden? There are all these considerations. And you can just start by growing a parsley plant on your porch and just plucking that every single day and threading it through your meals. That's going to give you so much vitamin C. It's going to give, it's going to give you so many polyphenols just through doing that. All right, so we can always upregulate and help our body shift through, getting rid of all the processed, getting rid of all of those inflammatory foods and those foods that contain the ages. All right, so just by doing that, you are naturally regulating your detoxification organs. You know, getting rid of the alcohol, getting rid of the sugary drinks, you know, reducing caffeine. Maybe even if caffeine is a bit of a thing for you, eliminating that altogether for a period of time. Yeah. Coffee, it's like good quality organic coffee bean is actually good for you, but not everyone. It just depends on your level of sensitivity to the actual caffeine, but it actually can be very beneficial. I mean, coffee, good quality organic coffee, it is one of the most highly sprayed, you know, things. What is it? Beans? What's a coffee bean? You know, on the planet, but a good quality organic coffee actually has a lot of antioxidants, so it's really, really good for you because we want to upregulate our antioxidant system, our glutathione, and quench all of those free radicals and help our organs do their job. And you know, there could be a lot of reasons why our organs are under distress, like for example, hormonal imbalance. There could be way too much estrogen and you know, the liver's just struggling. Maybe it's shunting the estrogen down the wrong pathway. So it's becoming inflammatory because the metabolites aren't being safely removed. You know, there are so many different things to consider. And if our thyroid is inflamed, well, that's where I'd be looking big picture. You know, what's getting into the body? What really needs to be upregulated? You know, is it at the area of the digestive system? Is it the liver? How are the kidneys functioning? You know, what minerals are deficient or insufficient? Yeah, what vitamins are deficient or insufficient? Because all of these provide the matrix to help our body do its job. Our body's on our side. It wants to do a good job. It's our mind, you know, we're the ones that get in the way. Our body's really trying hard. You know, I'm actually saying that like that's two different entities because it kind of is. You know, like our mind, we can actually override. Like we might feel like an apple, but our mind will see a chocolate and go, "Oh no, I'm going to have a chocolate." It's like sometimes they're just not in sync. But as soon as you get your brain and your heart in sync and you're locked into your common goals, well, that's where, you know, it's a pretty easy decision, and generally you can quench those cravings because you're actually doing all of the things that support your body to vitality. All right, so supporting detox pathways. I've mentioned all of the organs involved. So one thing I'll look at is I'll just look at some basic pathology, and from there and from the symptom picture, I'll see, well, where are the question marks? You know, where are some systems potentially not doing quite so well? Because that's what we're doing. We're trying to bring harmony and, you know, bringing cohesion back to that system, that body system. So, for example, digestive system, nervous system, accessory detox organ system, etc., etc. You know, skin integrity, so our skin system. So we want to bring cohesion back into that, and we want to help facilitate the pathway of detoxification so that our body can absorb the minerals and the vitamins and all the good things, the amino acids, so that it can actually repair and rebuild, because our body is repairing and rebuilding every single day. All right. Speaking of which, excuse me, just need a glass of water. How's this weather lately? Isn't it beautiful weather? It's really, really warm. All right, so tell me, I just want to hear from you guys. When's the last time you've done a detox? Doesn't matter what it was. I'm really curious. You know, it might be a detox that was quite structured with a formula, like there might have been a powder or a herbal mixture, or it might be a particular diet. I want to know, you know, like when's the last time you did a detox? Tell me, and if you're coming in on the replay, please let me know, because I find it really super interesting, because generally when you're actually following these principles and you're clearing all of those foods that are clogging up your system and clogging up your endocrine system and putting pressure on your body's pathways, thereby putting pressure on your thyroid, your metabolic health, everything, you know, when we clear that, sometimes we can actually shift through some of the symptoms that we actually thought was our thyroid gland. Yeah, like we blame everything on our thyroid. Now, whilst that may be the case, it is also really good to bust the myth that it is the case. All right, sometimes it might be that your thyroid, it might be struggling a little bit, but it actually is doing a reasonably good job. And if we just shifted through and cleaned up your diet and cleaned up some other practices, some lifestyle, some foundational work, just some really, really key foundational work, well, then sometimes these symptoms can actually improve and your thyroid picture can improve as well. All right, because it's not just about one area of the body, it's everything. It's an orchestra. Our body is an orchestra. It's not just about one instrument. That's why I'm not a fan of, with thyroid, often it's like, hey, there's a thyroid problem, so we test and then we tweak the medication. In 3 months' time, we test again and we tweak the medication again. In 3 months' time, we test again and, oh, well, the TSH is this way now. We tweak it again. How's that going to help? Like, seriously, we need to go underneath the layers. We need to fix the foundation. The roof is not going to work without a strong, stable foundation. And all of that starts with our diet and our lifestyle. All right, our diet and our lifestyle. Strong, structured foundation. And really like plugging those holes in the bucket, you know, wherever those missing links are. You know, we need to kind of bring that patterning back. All right, so detox practices. Do you know what? Getting up and moving and sweating is a detox practice. Drinking more water that's purified is a detox practice. Putting more antioxidant-rich foods and shifting up the ratios of your plate, making it colourful, is a detox practice. Getting sound sleep and removing all the unwanted gadgets from your room is a detox practice. Yeah? Having a swim in the ocean absolutely is a detox practice. Yeah? So there are so many things that you can do that can really, really help you shift through these negative energy patterns, you know, these symptoms, signs and symptoms, just on a subtle level, just by changing some of these foundations. I'm just going to read some of the questions here. Yep, when was the last time you did it? That was my question. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful, Melanie. I'm currently on an elimination detox to give my organs a break. 8 weeks vegan, then see how I'm going. Love it. I love it. That's really, really good. I'd be really, really interested to hear if you're supporting that process with some sort of supplement like herbs or, you know, something to just help your body, you know, your phase 2 liver detoxification. I'd be really, really curious. Yeah, wow, 8 weeks vegan. Yeah, that's really good. And you know what? There's no one size fits all. So if your iron is sufficient, and if you're doing really, really well, and if you really feel like into your heart consciousness that meat is inflammatory, that would be a really, really great way to go. I'd love to hear how you go with that, Melanie. Yeah, and how are you feeling now with that? Karen, I do one a year. Last one was very strict. The one I'm doing now is less strict, no alcohol, no sugar, and reduced carbs. Beautiful. Love it. Perfect. You know, see, that's the thing, Karen. We can do a really strict detox, or we can just do a quick cleanse. We can do a zip cleanse. We can just honor ourselves that every season, you know, like, okay, for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to have, you know, we could actually cut it out altogether or do less of. So here's an example. We could go, okay, no alcohol. That's probably a good idea if you're going to do a detox, to be quite honest. Or like other things, you could say, okay, I'm just going to have like maybe 1 piece of meat across a couple of weeks. I'm going to really up the ante on my cruciferous and my this and my that and do all the things and do it that way, you know? So there's many different ways, but what I really love to do is while we're kind of doing that, which is really kind of basic terrain, you know, we're actually getting to know your body, you know, or you getting to really know your body yourself. So really understanding where are your energy deficits, you know, what are your peak times during the day, you know, like the time where you've got that clarity, or is it a flatline fatigued and you're just not getting the clarity? Like, what are the little things that you're doing that are actually bringing about subtle change so that you can actually feel those little shifts that you're feeling better? You might wake up in the morning and go, oh, yeah, I actually feel a bit brighter today. Yeah. So all of that is really great information for you to fine tune and pinpoint what's going on in your body and where you need the support. All right. So that being said, you know, and if you're coming in on the replay, please let me know when's the last time you did a detox and what was it? So I would love to know, like, where are you in your health now? You know, are you like a 5 out of 10? Are you a 3 out of 10? You know, like 10 being optimal health? Are you an 8 out of 10 and you're just needing a little bit of fine tuning and tweaking? You know, what is it like? What level are you at? Because I'm telling you now that if you're a 4 or a 5 or a 6 or even a, you know, even a 7, you know, there's definitely room for improvement. 100%. Because I believe that we all have health abundance available to us. 100%. It's just about learning about your body and understanding what actually works for you and doing all the little things that we often, you know, like, you know, you might look at that and go, oh, you know, that's just a tiny little thing. But all of these tiny little things add up to be a big thing, which can actually create a health shift. Yeah. And it's the health shifts that actually bring about more clarity, more energy, more focus, better sleep, and just feeling more vibrant and healthy for better relationships, for balanced moods, you know, all of these things. So who doesn't want that? So if you're looking for, you know, better energy, better clarity, and you're really curious, you're wanting to know what you can do, you know, everybody starts with this first step while we're waiting for the results to come back. Yeah, this is what we do, you know, and it was kind of like by accident. It wasn't actually like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what all my clients are going to do. It just seems to be that whenever anyone comes into my world, this is just naturally where we start because it's quite obvious, right? Why wouldn't you just, you know, shift out all, sorry, I've got a little insect. It's kind of going around like this. So if you see me kind of doing this or following something, that's what I'm doing. I'm really trying not to get distracted by it, but it's quite annoying. Getting back on track. Okay, so oh dear, what a crack up. Okay, so so if you're wanting support, guidance, if you're wanting to learn more about your body, if you're wanting to understand what's going on and where the missing pieces are, you know, if you're wanting to know what is it that's actually causing the chronic fatigue, what is it that's actually causing you to feel foggy, that's actually throwing your thyroid out, why is it that your T4 is not converting to T3, you know, There is a lot to be said for functional testing. This is what I've been doing for a long time now, and it works wonders because when we understand what's actually going on in the body and where the missing pieces are, and we couple that with a naturopathic conscious living framework, and then we bespoke it to you based on the results of what's actually going on for you for a tailored and focused treatment plan. That's when we can actually lift your health up out of the 3s, 4s, and 5s out of 10 to 7.5, 8, and 9 out of 10. Okay, and we do that in a relatively short period of time. Okay, because it's structured and it's focused and it's bespoke. So if that's something that you're interested in, so that by Christmas time, you will be feeling significantly better in your body, in yourself, in your mind, and you actually can see the light at the end of the tunnel with your health challenge, I would love you to type detox. Spring detox, okay? Because whilst this is just a base foundation, it is the tiny little step towards a leap into vibrant health. And it is so incredibly important. So I invite you to write spring detox, and we will have a chat just to see where you're at. What have you tried? What's working? What's not working for you? And from all of that, we can find out what the missing pieces are, and then we can commence some testing, and then we can really get you on your way. All right. So what is it? September is Sunday. 1st of September is on Sunday. So 4 months, and imagine from a 4 and a 5 out of 10 to like a 8 or a 9 out of 10, or even a 7.5 out of 10 in feeling vibrant health. So I would love to invite you to say spring detox. Beautiful, Karen. We are onto it. Fantastic. Love it, Shell. Beautiful. Because I tell you what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a spring detox, because even though I teach what I teach, I do the same thing. Like I don't teach this and then do something entirely different. Like I'm always working on my health. Once a year I do some testing. If things are going out of whack and I'm kind of not feeling quite optimal, I might do some functional testing on myself. Absolutely, because I want to know what's going on, because sometimes this little symptoms can overlap other symptoms. And especially, I've said this on previous lives, there's something to be said for the life transition of perimenopause going into menopause. It throws up a whole new picture of signs and symptoms. Tell me, ladies, do you know what I'm talking about, right? So if that's something that you're experiencing, that just adds another layer, and it's really good to know and understand what's going on, especially if your goal is not just about feeling vibrant in your skin and having more energy, but if your goal is also for longevity and to ensure and just do all of the things that you won't, get some sort of chronic illness that has been lurking in the background and you just didn't know about it because you put that symptom down to being something else. This is a great time to really, really invest in your health for yourself now, but also for that to be compounded for your future. Yeah, because when you know, you can't unknow. Yeah, it's like, you know what's going on. You know how your body works. You understand what allows your body to thrive. You know what detracts, what takes your energy away. You know what fills your cup. And with all that put together, and also, sorry, I just will say, sometimes we think we might be deficient in this, but it's actually something else. It might be a ratio imbalance. Yeah, it might be just something else altogether. So It's really, really good to fine tune and understand all of that, because it's not just about the T4, T3 and autoantibodies. I'm serious. It's not just about that. There is so much more to learn and understand about your body in addition to that. That is like a diagnosis. Your thyroid panel is actually a diagnosis. It doesn't really tell you all that much about the workings of your body. Seriously, it doesn't. We need to look under the mat. That's the mat. We need to look under it. What's going on underneath? And that's where I come into the picture and I can help you. So, spring detox, beautiful Melanie, absolutely, we'll get in touch. Spring detox, and yeah, getting ready for Christmas already. I love it, Karen. Karen is so proactive, beautiful, because proactivity is key. What you do today will help you for the future. The virtue is in the delayed gratification. Yeah, what we do today will help us in the future, in the near future, not too distant future. Sometimes we can get a health shift within a couple of weeks. One of my clients has lost a couple of kilos, and it's only been 3 weeks. We haven't even got her results back yet. And one of her goals is weight loss, and she's actually feeling amazing. She said, wow, just these fine-tuned little tweaks, and she's already feeling great. We haven't even got the results back. So, yeah, can't wait what's in store for this lady. But proactivity is key. And when you really know what to do and you've got the support and guidance, that can be very, very helpful for you. All right, well, that's it from me. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much for participating, for joining in. If you have any questions, feel free to ask any questions. If you're coming in on the replay, do a hashtag replay. And the other thing I can say is get out in this beautiful sunshine. If it's sunny where you are, get out in the sunshine, get some vitamin D. Vitamin D is great for our hormones. It's great for our blood sugar, metabolism. It's great for our bone health. It's great for our vibrancy. It helps with our autoimmune situation and our immune system in general. And it's just a natural healer. Don't be afraid of the sun. Get out in it. All right. Thank you. Thanks for coming on board. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.